Welcome to today's explainer. There's this massive, kind of quiet revolution happening literally right now in how our homes, our streets, and really our whole neighborhoods get electricity. We're standing on the absolute brink of an energy transformation that's going to fundamentally change the power dynamics of the world, literally and figuratively. So what if your neighborhood could power itself during a blackout? Just imagine a world that's entirely immune to those massive, super frustrating regional power failures. Picture a huge storm rolling through, knocking out the main power lines miles away, but your lights stay on, your fridge stays cold, your devices stay charged. This isn't some science fiction movie. This is the very real promise of the technology we're breaking down today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll meet the decentralized grid. 2, flipping the power model. 3, how Edge AI takes control. 4, the impact on your home. And finally, 5, the roadblocks and risks. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1. Meet the decentralized grid, a new energy era. Now, before we get into the really high-stakes scenarios of neighborhood energy survival, we need to clear up just a little bit of jargon. First up is autonomous Edge AI. Basically, this is artificial intelligence that processes data directly on local devices, like the smart meters attached to your house, rather than sending that data all the way to a central cloud server. I really want to emphasize the word local here. It's the difference between asking a lightning-fast genius sitting right next to you for an answer versus sending a letter to a slow, distant headquarters and waiting around for a reply. Edge AI lives right in your neighborhood, thinking and reacting instantly.
And that brings us to the second concept, the decentralized smart grid. So instead of relying on one massive, central power plant pumping electricity hundreds of miles to your home, a decentralized grid distributes power from a bunch of small sources. Think your rooftop solar panels or a local wind turbine. When you combine this type of network with the Edge AI we just talked about, well, something kind of magical happens. The power network can now manage itself instantly at a local level, completely without human intervention.
Moving on to Section 2, flipping the power model, top down to bottom up.
We are witnessing a massive structural shift here. For over a century, energy has been top-down and, let's be honest, incredibly fragile. I mean, if the main plant goes down, everyone loses power. But now we're moving to a bottom-up model, and this brilliantly illustrates how the new system relies on a flexible, grassroots network of small, interconnected hubs that share the load. It increases reliability by isolating local power failures, it improves efficiency by reducing the energy lost during long-distance transmission, and it fundamentally changes exactly who is in charge of the grid. To actually make this bottom-up model work, we need a few specific pieces of hardware. We've got edge computing hardware, those small, really powerful processors located right on site at neighborhood transformers. We have distributed energy resources, or DERs, which are basically small-scale providers like residential batteries. Add in IoT sensors measuring voltage and temperature everywhere, and the communication protocols allowing these machines to securely talk to one another. But you know what the biggest surprise here is? It's that last point, prosumers. Everyday people are no longer just consumers of electricity. You're a prosumer now, meaning you both consume electricity and produce it to sell right back to the grid.
Which leads us to Section 3, how Edge AI takes control, instant local decisions. Okay, set the scene with me. Imagine it's a scorching hot afternoon. Air conditioners are blasting everywhere. Suddenly, a thick cloud completely blocks the sun over your neighborhood solar panels. In the old grid, that's a guaranteed brownout. But here, Edge AI leaps right into action. Step 1, detection. The node instantly registers the drop in solar. Step 2, analysis. The AI calculates exactly what the neighborhood needs for the next hour. Step 3, communication. It immediately pings neighboring nodes for excess power. Step 4, execution. It seamlessly draws power from parked EVs right on your street. And Step 5, verification. The grid stabilizes and the ledger logs the trade. Boom, crisis averted and the lights don't even flicker. So the crucial point here is latency. This entire rescue mission didn't take minutes. It didn't even take seconds. At millisecond 1, local sensors collected the data. By millisecond 10, the edge processing calculated the local load balances. And by millisecond 50, literally faster than the blink of an eye, the autonomous adjustments rerouted the electricity. The system ensures grid stability in milliseconds because it never, ever has to wait for a main headquarters to issue a command. All right, Section 4, the impact on your home, personal benefits. All of this invisible computing is super fascinating, but let's connect it directly back to your wallet and your daily life.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the complete paradigm shift. Your car becomes a mobile battery that supports the grid while it is plugged in. Think about that for a second. A parked car isn't just a vehicle anymore, it's a mini power plant. While you're just sitting on the couch, your electric vehicle is actively participating in the energy market. It's discharging tiny amounts of power to support your neighbors when demand is high, and recharging when power is cheap and abundant.
And this creates an absolute domino effect. We start with immediate action. Edge AI detects a sudden demand surge. This triggers the local response, where local batteries, like your car or maybe a wall battery, discharge energy. That immediately leads to grid stability, meaning the main aging power lines experience way less stress. And ultimately, that local split-second decision creates a massive long-term result. Carbon emissions decrease globally because we simply need fewer highly polluting fossil fuel peaker plants to handle those high-demand days. It's wild. Your local battery just helps save the planet. So the practical implications for you are pretty profound. You get true neighborhood energy independence. You can actually survive a regional blackout. You get lower bills because you're actively selling your stored solar energy to your neighbors when prices peak. You get seamless integration of your electric vehicle into the grid. And you get real-time management. Smart appliances in your home, like your dishwasher or water heater, will automatically communicate with the Edge AI. They'll just know to run at the exact times when electricity is cheapest and most abundant, perfectly optimizing your savings without you having to lift a single finger.
Finally, Section 5, Roadblocks and Risks, Real-World Hurdles.
As wildly enthusiastic as I am about this technology, we have to look at the whole picture. Impartially looking at the data, the real-world hurdles are substantial. First up is cybersecurity. Instead of protecting one central plant, every single local AI node becomes a potential entry point for hackers if it's not perfectly secured. Then there are the significant initial investment costs required to actually install smart sensors across an entire city. We also face standardization issues. Different companies use different software that often, just refuses to talk to each other. Plus, these Edge AI devices must be incredibly durable to survive extreme weather conditions like blizzards or heat waves for years without failing. And finally, data privacy. While local processing is technically more private than sending everything to the cloud, make no mistake, to balance the grid, this system must heavily track and analyze your highly detailed personal energy habits. Which brings us to our final thought. The technology is advancing in milliseconds. The grid is decentralizing. The shift from consumer to prosumer is literally already underway. So the big question is, are you ready to become a prosumer and take full control of your energy future? It's a massive shift in how we interact with the world around us, and I really hope this explainer has given you the clarity you need to navigate the decentralized smart grid. Keep learning, stay curious, and hey, keep an eye on your local power lines. You never know just how smart they might be getting.